Then we're joined via Zoom by Rosemarie from Staden, the chairperson of the National Accommodation of Association of South Africa. A very good afternoon to you, Rosemarie. Thanks very much for joining us here on SABC News.
Good afternoon.
Are there any suspicions then from the tourism industry that we might find ourselves in a situation where not only are we not having international tourists, but also that interprovincial travel is perhaps stopped? And really, can the tourism industry even afford for that situation to happen?
Unfortunately, we cannot afford that it must be stopped. Although I'm very much sure that a lot of guest houses and hotels will lose a lot of business. We see the cancellations streaming in. We see that the people don't know what's happening. From government side, there's no indication what is going to happen. And for you to pack up your car and to be ready to go to the seaside or come to Limpopo or to Pretoria or anywhere else, it's a very risky matter at this stage, although you have paid your deposits or you have paid in full, and the guest house is already prepared and showed off other business. So this is a very, very scary factor.
And let's talk about those cancellations that we've started to see since the Omicron variant. Are we talking specifically about international tourists? I mean, I'm seeing a lot of friends who are very worried about, their overseas families perhaps not being able to visit them, or them not being able to go visit their overseas families. Let's discuss this issue of the cancellations.
The cancellations is a big, very, very big concern. For instance, today there was supposed to be a wedding, and the guy couldn't come through for his wedding. Now, what about all the other weddings, and where people booked stay, and where the function will be arranged, and its wedding dresses and all that? So the money loss is terrible. So also from and this person who's getting married was supposed to come from overseas with some of his family. So this is not the only incident. There's a lot of families that haven't seen their families in many years, and they already paid for their travel and their stays. So that's definitely happening. The cancellations are streaming in.
What resources and support is there, available to help the tourism businesses deal with the impacts of these travel bans? I mean, are there even alternatives? December is such a busy month for the tourism sector that, but also on the back of that, we've had 2 years really of being in a pandemic, and I'm assuming that, we've learned from those years of what to do should we be in, find ourselves with travel bans. So one wonders if there's anything that those sectors have learned and are able to implement at this time, and if there is support available in terms of helping the tourism businesses at this time.
Unfortunately, there is no support to help us. Not even TERS is paying out for our staff members. We haven't received TERS in nearly a year, so we try to pay our staff still out of our pockets. We need to have our staff to keep the standards of the guest houses up and running, because we need to do the sanitation. We need to keep our doors open, even if there's no business. Now the people pay deposit. Do you pay the money back with the cancellation policy in place? So now you give for 3 months that they can come back later to your establishment. But how will it look in 3 months from now? We already bought extra sanitizers. The people bought extra stuff to have in place for the guests arriving. And now we're out of pocket, and there's no financial help from government.
And let's talk about that. I'm raising this because I'm one of those people who are hoping to travel to the coast later this month. I mean, how does it work? When we're talking about cancellations, like here you're talking about, some businesses saying, well, maybe you can come after 3 months. But what if you can't even come after 3 months? You're relying on the fact that, schools are closed at this time. Perhaps you've got break at work. what advice has been given to some of those hotels, B&Bs and so forth, who don't really know where to go, what to do from that point when it comes to people having either paid in full or paid their deposits? And also, it's also tricky to deal with this because, you might lose customers if you don't deal with the situation quite well. So what is the advice that is being given really to all these hotels and B&Bs and people in this tourism sector?
I wish I had a crystal ball that I could see what the future holds for us. There's no advice at this stage. At this stage I think you're going to lose your money, or I hope that you will be able to get through. We are still waiting for the family meeting. I think the sooner that we can hear what the president is going to say to us, the quicker all the uncertainty will stop. But at this moment, nobody really knows what is going to happen. As I say, a lot of people have decided rather to cancel their bookings, and some of them still need to pay when they arrive. So what do we do as guest house owners? Do we put it out and try and get another local person to come? But at this stage, the local people are also cancelling. At the moment in KZN, there is a cruise ship standing that some people cannot get off because now they tested positive, and that people were booked into guest houses in KZN. So at the moment, what do they need to do? If you were a guest house owner, what would you do to accommodate the people? There's no advice at this stage. We all are sitting now on a very hot tin roof.
Yeah. All right. Rosemarie, thanks very much for giving us your time here on SABC News. We certainly do appreciate you giving us your time. And let's hope that things actually do go well this December for those in the hospitality and tourism industry. Thanks very much for giving us your time then.
Thank you very much. I just want to tell you that we are all in the same storm, but in different boats. If we don't buy eggs to supply, to give to our guests, and we don't buy bread and we don't buy milk, it's everything down the train. It's just not us, it's them also. So let's pray together and let's hope comes together that there comes a miracle, because that's all that can save us now, is a big miracle and a big Christmas miracle that must be.
Yeah, let's hope
thanks
so.
for your time.
You're most welcome. Thanks very much. Certainly, it is quite a domino effect of problems when one thing is out of is out of work there in terms of tourism. So yeah, no, we can certainly hear what you're saying. Thanks very much for that. That's Rosemarie van Staden, who is the National Accommodation Association of South Africa, giving us some thoughts in terms of what may happen should interprovincial travel be closed. We obviously hope that's not the case, but we'll certainly give you all the latest as and when we get that sort of